citizens, welcome back. I have some info on the Argo Mole, and I gotta say it's my most anticipated ship. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Argo Mole is a crewed mining ship. It's the first crewed mining ship that we're getting, and it's gonna be a crew of 4, as far as we know, and it'll have 1 pilot and 3 operators for the lasers. You can solo the ship, but as the devs have said, you will need to basically pull up to a rock and then get out of your pilot seat and start mining. And I'm sure that people that don't have a corp already set up for them, or they're not ready to play with people, will still get the ship simply because of the aesthetic. And with the hopes of operating it with the crew, it's really not ideal to solo with this ship, but you can. Now, what I have for you today is a bit of leaked text, and I have some info on variants, and not much info unless you're into aesthetics. There are 3 variants, and they're just categorized by color. There's no information right now about whether or not they have different components or more effective components, or even if the shape of the ship is different in these variants. I will just go on a limb here and say that all that is different in these variants is the color, but we don't know yet. We'll see. It's gonna be pretty soon here. 3.8 is already out to the PTU, and when it comes out to the PU, this ship is due. Of course, if you look at the roadmap, you will see that it's still being worked on, and I believe it's like 124 out of 140 tasks completed. So if the PU were to come out tomorrow, the Mole would not be flyable, and you probably wouldn't even be able to buy it. But let's get into the 3 variants before I get into this kind of wall of text that's been leaked. Now, the first variant is just called the Argo Mole, with vanilla in parentheses. I think that's just the standard looking mole that we got, the orange mole. There's 2 others though. There's a gray one, which will be called the Talus, Talus, and a black one called the Argo Mole Carbon. You got the Argo Mole Talus, Argo Mole Carbon. That's it. It feels like a tongue twister. And so I would assume that a lot of people are going to be wanting the orange one. It looks amazing, but I'm going to be honest with you. I think I'm getting the gray or the black, to be a little bit more discreet. And it kind of gives a suggestion in this leaked wall of text I'm about to give you guys, that maybe you do want to get a darker color. Maybe there'll be some disadvantage to that, though. We'll see. Here we go. Argo's, now there's some file here, but Argo's iconic multi-operator laser extractor, more commonly referred to as the Mole, lets you work faster and more effectively than ever before, thanks to its patented trilateral mining system. 3 independently controlled articulated extraction stations allow for maximum power and near limitless versatility. The Mole lives by the adage, quote, "Many hands make for light work," unquote. I guess some file name here. The Argo's iconic multi-operator laser extractor, more commonly we just read. Thanks to that. The Carbon Edition offers the Mole's revered mining ability with a distinctive all-black laser extractor, more commonly referred to as the Mole. Lets you work faster and more effectively than ever before. So some of this text is a little bit scrambled, I think. It is leaked. Thanks to its patented trilateral mining system, a whole mouthful with all those giant words. 3 independently articulated allow. I'm not reading back, I promise you guys. This text wall could be like half the length. That's the same amount of info. The Mole Talus Edition boasts the same mining proficiency as the standard ship, along with a more discreet gray skin. So what it looks like is the orange, the gray, and the black moles will all be the same in utility, and maybe a little bit different in gameplay, but just because of the difference in aesthetic. It's that seems to be the only difference between these variants, and it's a little, I'm going to tell you something, this is a little alarming, because the devs have been telling us that they want us to be able to customize the skins and looks of our ships, but we're getting into some serious, like, selling different ships, but all that's different is the colors, which makes me think that they might be rolling back on that promise to let us paint our ships or change the colors of them. I think that might turn out to be a transactional thing, if you understand. And I think I'm a bit okay with that in the sense that it will help fund the game without affecting gameplay. At least the aesthetic sales will. So that could be a good thing. But I don't know how I feel about a promise being broken. When me personally, I was looking forward to having my ships painted in game, and maybe there still will be a way to do that, but it seems a little odd to me that they are selling 3 different variants of this ship, and you're gonna see that in the store, 3 moles that you can buy, and all that's different is the color. It seems like, why else would they do that, other than the fact that other than the assumption that you won't be able to change the color of your ship. Why not just get the original Argo Mole, the orange one, and then when you're getting found by pirates because you're in orange and they're going to spot you, sitting against a bunch of gray rocks and black rocks, why not decide, oh, well, I don't want to keep getting spotted by pirates, I'll change to black or gray. Maybe you want to get a gray to start out with. That's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to get a gray. I probably, for style reasons, would love the black and prefer the black, but I think that anything I'm going to be mining is going to be closer to gray than black. I'm hoping there'll be some variation, but I still think most of that stuff will be closer to black, or gray, excuse me. That's all the info I have for you on the mole. I hope if you like this video, and if you've lasted this long, maybe you'll follow me on Twitter. You can join me on there. I'm pretty active. I do have 2 Twitter profiles, but I have one for Star Citizen. You can find the other one fairly easily. But if you ever want to talk to me, come on. Talk to me on there. Leave a link down below with a referral code if you want it. If you are thinking about getting the game, I wouldn't recommend getting into an Argo Mole if you're first trying the game out. But, if you know people and you're being brought to the game by a bunch of other people, then, maybe the mole is right for you. You got to decide for yourself, but I think that there are solo ships that you should be looking at, and I say this knowing that most people understand this, but it is some pretty vital info, and whether it's repeated in your guys' ears 100 times, 1,000 times, I don't care. I don't want people wasting their money. So for those of you that are not in the game yet and haven't pledged, thank you for watching my video, and I hope you use my referral code. If you ever want to reach out to me, let me know. I do have a Discord, and we have an org, just 2 members right now. We just started this channel, and we got some affiliates, but right now the org is pretty small, but it is an industry corp. So if you are interested in industry and cutting costs along the production line, and trying to acquire assets along the production lines, so anything from mining to refining to production to sale. If you're interested in that kind of idea for a corp, I hope that you will get in touch with me. And, even leave a comment. You don't have to do that much work to try to track me down. If you leave a comment, I'll reach out to you. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Fingers crossed that the Argo Mole releases soon and we can buy it. They are going to make so much money. That ship is gorgeous, and the idea of it is brilliant. My only gripe is that you can't mine from the pilot seat. I think that is a bit stupid. We're in the future. We're 1,000 years in the future, and they are able to make mining ships, but they don't want this Argo Mole to, have a mining laser operating from pilot seat. I'm pretty lenient. I'll just end the video with this. Sorry that I didn't end it with what I just said before about all the references and stuff. But CIG, I I'm pretty lenient with a lot of the stuff, and I'll do a suspension of disbelief for quantum and other stuff, but I want some explanation, maybe just like one little sentence of flavor text in the Argo Mole's brochure or something telling me why you can't mine from the pilot seat, because that's a little irritating. But I have friends that want to mine, so I think that's gonna be a great ship for me personally. I'm an industry guy myself, so that's gonna be kind of a must buy. I'm gonna CCU to it, probably from, what am I CCUing from? I think, I'm gonna CCU from an F7C Hornet tracker. That's the one I'm gonna do. If you guys want me to talk about CCUs at some point, I totally will. I just now, after about a month of learning about CCUs, cross-chassis upgrades, I finally completely understand them. Not only understand how they work, but how to utilize them, and hopefully maybe even make or do some smart buys where ships will go up in price. So I totally know how to do that. And I think I know how to articulate it in an easy to understand way, so you guys can look out for that. For new players, don't even worry about it, unless you actually understand what I'm talking about and it doesn't sound like nonsense. But yeah, you can count on getting something pretty soon, and I'll be talking to you guys, especially when the Argo Mole comes out. Rather than, I just remembered something that was going to be a whole separate video, but you know what? Rather than make it a whole separate video, I'll just drop some extra info on you guys right now. Today, Saturday, you will be seeing a BBC documentary, kind of an expose, done by their, I don't know if it's a subsidiary or just a small company that they're partnered with. This company, Click, is actually being the one to produce an expose on CIG, Cloud Imperium Games. They say that they have a bunch of info, and I would like to see some insider info about Cloud Imperium, but given that a lot of news outlets have been a little bit I don't know what the word is, biased towards against Star Citizen, I'm a little skeptical on whether or not this Click documentary is going to be gotcha journalism. What I would like to see is maybe them interview a person or two. These guys are pretty reachable. But we'll see. We'll see what this documentary actually says. I am going to sleep. It is late. It is still Saturday. I mean, it is Saturday now, but I got to get to sleep. Talk to you guys later, and thanks for being here. Thanks for watching this long. Hope you have a great weekend.